Alright, why isn't my camera working? Let's see if I can fix that real quick. How about now? Good. What about... Oh, there we go. Okay. I am on a multi-stream. I was already streaming on Steam. I said, why not stream on more than Steam? Alright, let me just tweet it out. Game art stream this morning. Come chat. Come chat. Why do I need to tell people what they should do? They don't need to do anything. Join me. Join me. That's fine. Join me. That's what clicking the link is. Join me. Joining me. That's what it is. Okay, so I am streaming this on, I think, Steam, YouTube, and Twitch. It should be working. I think it's working. Oh, it is a dark, miserable day, so I could use some company. Let's get this shit going. So, nothing too spoilery today, but I am working on a cutscene, which is, I think, more fun, right? More fun than doing little baby sprites. Let's go, baby. Alright. First up. So, I'm just going to get my layers sorted. A few of these are already clean. And that way I can bump that down a bit. Oh my god, what is up? What is up? What is up? I'm still getting going this morning. I'm still getting going. I just did a really hard workout. I've been, sadly, the victim of fuck-around-itis for some time now. If you're a gym rat like me, you know what fuck-around-itis is. For the rest of you, couch sitters. It's when you're going to the gym. Look, this will make you feel really good if you don't work out. Fuck-around-itis is when you go to the gym and you work out, but you're not really getting much done. You're actually just fucking around. You have a disease, or you're just fucking around. It's very sad, because you put in the time, and yet you are not getting stronger. You are not meeting your goals. It's quite tragic, really. It's kind of like if you've been single for, let's say, longer than you'd like, and then you hear about somebody who's just been trapped in a terrible relationship for, oops, I drew on the rough layer, who's just been trapped in a terrible relationship for like 5 years, right? And you think, oh, thank God I'm single. Thank God I haven't had sex in years. Because that would be worse. That would actually be worse. A serious misuse of my time would be worse than, you know, just being by myself for a while, figuring myself out. I'm not saying that's objectively the truth, but it's a little bit of comfort, right? It's a little bit of comfort if you feel like you've been spinning your wheels, but somebody out there is spinning their wheels much harder than you. Much, much harder. That is the tragedy of fuck-around-itis. All of the best intentions. None of the results. A waste of time. And I've been doing it for a while. Unfortunately, I've been showing up, and I've been doing a workout that is neither challenging nor, well, that's all. Nor, you know, if it's not challenging, it's not beneficial. It's not beneficial. Basically, all it does is stave off the basest amount of depression that I would get if I wasn't exercising. So, in that sense, it's not totally a waste. You know, it's not a waste to exercise, even if it's fairly non-strenuous. But if your goal is to train, then it's a tragedy. It's a minor tragedy. Okay, so I'm about ready to test whether this is working or not. I'm not seeing any chat activity, which means either the stream is not working or nobody's chatting. If you're in the chat, could you just say hello? I promise I won't force you to talk to me anymore. You can go back to hiding. Hello. Oh, Ribbit. Hello, thank you. Okay, everything's working. Welcome. Welcome, good morning. Good morning and welcome. Alright, let's just do a quick check and make sure this actually works. So her head is going down quite a bit, so I feel like I might end up moving this one a bit. Although the hip action makes it look like she would go down. But I think I need to justify that in the frames in between. So we might need another transitional movement there, other than just straight in-betweens. That's what I'm thinking. When you think you've done all the keyframes, and then you realize there are many more. Good morning, good morning. Well, welcome. Welcome to the Game Dev feed. Much like Thingus, this is me being an animal in a zoo for your benefit. Drawing my little pictures for you. This is what I'm here for. I'm like Tom Bombadil. Is that what he's called? Tom Bombadil? Bombadil? No, this guy's a pacifist. What's his name? Bombadil? Tom Bombadil? I went on about him for like 2 hours last week. The guy from the Lord of the Ring. Bombadil, thank you. Not Bomb at all. Tom Bomb at all. You've missed the Discord exclusives. Yes, that's right. I've been doing Discord exclusives for people who either pledged to support the game on Kickstarter, or they have helped me out by playtesting. They get a special exclusive stream. I do those probably, you know, once or twice a week. And then I've been trying to do more public streams too. I don't want to spoil the game is the thing. So I'm trying not to do too many streams where I feel like the artwork would spoil the game. So I will keep these as unspoilery as I can. I really do like to hide as much as possible until it's time for you to experience it. But this is a different kind of experience that's also fun. You get to watch me struggle to make these drawings. And then when you see the scene, you're like, oh yeah, I remember when it looked like shit. Now it's perfect. Now it's really good. Oh my god. I am so sore. I am so sore, but you know what? It was worth it. This morning, you won't be able to see it, but this morning, I saw my old friend, the vascularity, right there on my bicep. And it was a welcome friend. Welcome indeed. All morning I have been humming the dirge of the Empire. Da 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 da. This is the part where you mute the stream. God, I love it. I love that fucking song. Da, 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 da. Lifting is paying up. Well, I just got back into it, so you know, results take a few weeks, but there is an immediate payoff because I start to you know, I challenge myself and I start to feel good about living up to the challenges I've set forth for myself. So in that sense, lifting does pay off right away. But as far as gains, no, not yet. Not yet. I will continue to monitor the situation though. Very closely, in fact. Damn, it's good. I don't know why have I been thinking about an empire of incompetent fascists lately? A bunch of idiots who steal their clothing and they're like, woo, and they run away. Why have I been thinking about that? Yeah, you know, when you first lift, like while you're lifting, um, you get what's known as a pump, and that means your muscles bulge for a little while um, after you lift. That's why if you ever watch reality TV with men, um, rest assured that minutes before they appeared in the scene you're watching, they were doing bicep curls in the green room or wherever the hell, so that they would have pump when they came out. It is pretty standard practice for vain individuals who give a shit about the way their arms look. Ba, 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 ba. That shit also plays every time you walk into a town that's recently been taken over by the Empire. Now the town is bad. Everyone in it is so sad because the Empire's so bad. Now the town is bad. Now the town is bad. Thanks, guys. If you walk into LA right now, it's like although I don't know if they're not going quietly there right now. I feel like the soldiers look pretty stupid. Sleeping on the floor like aminals. Going to the toity on the floor. Okay. So, how would she arrive at this? Alright, I'm gonna fix a few things to just get the model a little bit more consistent. Hey, sorry if you're in the National Guard and you're on Twitch right now trying to get a little break from people spitting at you all day. Sorry to bring you right back into it. Sorry about that cold floor you're sleeping on because your government won't even provide a bed for you. In fact, they deliberately set the timeline of your deployment so that they wouldn't have to. Did a thief steal your clothing today? I hope not. I hope no thieves stole your clothing and made you cold and run away. But if they do, I hope, you show up at the most opportune moment, still in your underpants, and say, "Hey! There's the guy who stole our clothes!" It's you and a friend, right? It's not just you. He stole our clothes! That's him! And you're in your boxers with hearts on them. Da 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 da. Remember, that town in Final Fantasy III where you go in and, the Nazis are just having fun at the bar, and the bartenders, the locals are like, "Man, now this place sucks." And they're all just like, "Woohoo! We're having fun! Yeah! The Empire rules! Woohoo!" And there's one girl there, and she's like, "Very cool." A rat's nest of sin. Ow. When did they leave dudes hanging in an OP? I don't remember anything I made of that comic. Especially not at 10 in the morning. It's like the song about the Nazis having fun in the bar. Alright, so here, Mara is trying to be cool, and she very awesome, natural, smoothly moves her arms into a different pose. So let's see if we can capture a little bit of that here. No change to the head. Okay, so the shoulders are up. Let's bring this over just so we got a reference. Wait. Ding, ding. I'm doing music from Final Fantasy 3, which I've been playing with my son. Just like, it's just like we're having the best time. It's incredible. It's so great to share that game with him. We're having an awesome time, and it's allowing for a lot of conversations about how the Empire is bad, the evil Empire. That's right. I've got one of those. I've got one of those really smart lib babies who's like, Hillary would have won. Hello.
Hi. Doing your characters again, huh?
Oh yeah.
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 Do you remember where we parked? It is teeming out there. I just want to know that I.
Oh, we parked at the end of the road on our side. Yep. Yeah, it's right at the end there.
It's really.
Oh no. Yeah. Oh yeah, it looked terrible out there. It's pouring. Yeah, exactly. Her head stays locked in position because that means she's being cool. We all know how it goes. We all know how to be cool. Oh man, there's so much great stuff in Final Fantasy 3. You know, the other day, probably bring this up on Thingus too. The writer of Final Fantasy Tactics, he posted something to social media about how he'd based the story of Final Fantasy Tactics on like real things that were happening in the world at the time. And a bunch of people reposted it and they're like, I knew it. I knew it. I told you. Told you. Who says video games can't be about something real? And I was just like, looking at that, I'm like, duh. It's about war. Like, how did you, like, what, who was disputing? Who was disputing that this is about something real? It was, I felt totally insane looking at that. Like, I think people think that by default stories don't come from something real. And maybe that's one of those things they've been trained to think because they are used to stories being products packaged for them and not to focus on the individual. Yeah. But I found that so annoying. I found that so annoying that people were like, see, it's about something real. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and like learn go back to like Art 101, dude. I can't live in this fucking world anymore. Why are people not willing to engage more deeply? Why? Why? It really exhausts me. It really, really exhausts me. Alright, how's this look? Pretty funny. Pretty funny. I think, it's a very awkward pose, ultimately. Now, I could move her shoulder out a little. I could move both shoulders a little more to the left. It feels a little asymmetrical, but there's something so unnatural about this, so unnatural looking about this, that I think I like it. All right, that's fine. Instead of that, instead of the boob line, let's just do the button down. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Comics fans did that in the 80s. Yeah, I mean, I think comics fans are still like that. I think I got pretty exhausted with comics too. I don't think people read deeply of that form either. I think I'm sure film enjoyers, film enthusiasts are mad about this one too. Even though there is a critical sphere for film, it's taken a hit. But I'm not sure that video games has ever been there. Like even kind of the revolution of writing about video games really fell short. I'm not saying that writers who think about these things more deeply don't exist, but like, you know, I played this game while I was depressed and it had an effect on me is like kind of still pretty shallow stuff. Um, you know, we don't need any more personal stories about how video games helped me when I was depressed. You know. It's not like we're getting that anymore anyway. Games journalism is kneecapped, but uh, yeah, I just like I wish the takes were a little better sometimes. Maybe it's a mistake to be looking for takes that are going to read games deeply at all, but I just like, everywhere I look there's stupid baby talk. Stupid baby talk. You remember people were going out of their way to shoot down the idea that video games could have any creative value. I mean, I don't know that I saw that. I don't know that I saw that. Is there an example you can give? I may have seen it, but not that I want to see it. But okay. So now that I've done these, I need a version of Mara. Oh man, these poses are so fun. I need her nodding, looking happy, but clearly forced, and then looking anxiously in the other direction. So let's do it, baby. Alright, don't need that one anymore. Alright, so let's start with this one. It'll be kind of the default, right? Alright, looks like it's already been taken from there, so I don't need to reference it immediately. Scorsese had a hot take on video games. It's all been trash since Pong. That's funny. That's funny. Game people are so sensitive. They're so sensitive. I mean, Scorsese also said that most movies being made are not cinema. People are mad at him about that. He can. Oh, you made that up. Oh, I see. Look, I was ready to defend it. I was gonna die for that quote you just made up. A den of lies, indeed. Immobilize you guys against this to support this lie. Alright, I can basically keep the hair the same here. Just redraw it. Um, no, he said that Marvel movies are not cinema, and people flipped a fucking shit over that. I'm gonna make the hair curl a little bit, play into the Miyazaki, well-established Miyazaki concept that hair curls when it's agitated. Okay. Yes, it's got electricity going through it. All right. Okay, that arm looks a bit bigger than the one I've got there, so I'm just gonna try and scale it down a little bit. Look, if anybody said that video games are crap and are not art, from like another, coming from another medium like film, I think they obviously are misguided, but not very misguided. Um, I do think that certain studios have made things that are more than just technically interesting. Uh, I think video games have barely explored the narrative potential that they have. That one is still kind of on the table, in my opinion. Um, I think video game stories are bad, actually, are mostly bad, because, well, there's a few reasons. One reason is that video game people don't get out of the house very much, and I find them to be. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm sorry if this is a radical concept. I find them to be less interested in accumulating, accumulating as if it's like a fucking Pokemon, at gathering life experience than your average person. A little more timid, and a little more of a homebody, and a little more internet brained. And I'm sorry to say that makes John a dull boy. Um, I think dull people write dull stories, and that is by and large what video games gets. It's not totally what video games gets, but um, dull people write dull stories, and there are a lot of dull people making games, and that's true of film. That's true of books. A lot of people go straight from school to to working in those fields, and they don't have much life to show for it. Um, and maybe that's because uh, we are so career oriented that we consider the process of like actually making these things uh, 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 you know a higher priority than the life lived that is required to gather the ideas necessary to tell compelling stories. Now, I keep saying that, and I think that sounds wrong. Like gathering ideas, like the entire point for you to be out in the world is that you're on the beat and you're collecting anthropological stories of people. I don't mean that. I mean not thinking about video games at all. I mean doing things that have nothing to do with video games. Where's the hole? Oh, here it is. Where is the hole? Just asking Asking the chat where the hole might be. Uh, chat, help me find the hole. Um, I think, you get a lot of advice on social media that's like, go out and touch grass. And so people think that's a game too. People treat that like a game too. They're like, sorry, I was out touching grass today. I'm a bit of a grass toucher. Like, I'm sorry, but it's like how I always say that, like, in order to really have the discipline to make art, you need to be fixated on it. Well, you kind of need to be fixated on things in the real world too. You have to actually want to be out there in the grass, touching it, touching grass. Why don't you touch a boob? Can we start calling it that? Please go touch boob. You've touched grass 4 days in a row. You're about to get a streak, Shiva. Yeah, right? That's what it's become. I actually hate touch grass now. I've come to find that annoying too. I find all advice annoying. Because ultimately, it is never taken the way it was intended to be taken. People always assign other meaning to it. They assign the path of least resistance to it. It always happens. It's always annoying. Touch flesh. Yeah. Touch flesh. I mean, that could work. That could work. Although, again, somebody's going to be like, I touched a lot of flesh today. And you're like, fuck. Oh, I hope I'm not implicated in something now. Careful who you instruct to touch flesh, is what I'm saying. I think maybe the problem... I'm on an anti-advice kick. I've been talking about this for a few days on the stream. I'll probably try to talk about it with Joe in a couple days, or tomorrow. But, all right, looks good. Look at her stupid smile. I love her. Let's clean it up just a bit. A little more of this. Yeah, just arranging deck chairs on the Titanic. Okay. No. All right, that's good. I think advice is bad. I've started to see advice as, I used to see it as well-meaning, but misinterpreted. Now I think it's actually a menace. I think advice is a menace, and we need to stop giving it, stop taking it, accept, well, I don't know if I have an exception. I think we need to abandon advice for a while. I think so. I think it's time to abandon advice. I think advice in the current age we are living in is not helpful. It encourages the presence of gurus, which are some of the most ill-intentioned people. My advice is to ignore advice. Well, I just think that giving weight to advice and trusting in authorities to give you advice is unhealthy. I think personally asking somebody you trust for advice and getting it from them could potentially have value. Mentorship is valuable. There aren't many places for it anymore, I don't think, but the person who gives you advice needs to know you, and the intention to follow their advice the way they actually, to interpret their advice the way they actually mean for it to be interpreted, must be there for advice to be helpful. People in therapy may benefit from advice. But getting advice on the internet is a far cry from therapy, from a good therapist. Very bad therapist. All right, I I should not be doing details right now. Okay, no details. Okay, I've got that. Her back should be a little more streamlined. Okay, like that. Yes. And then, should I do the nod, or let's do the nod. All right, get rid of that. All right, I'll put the regular head here. And then we've got, I'm going to redraw the whole thing. I think if I reuse the artwork, it's going to look obvious. What do you say to people who insist on interpreting the messages in fiction as advice? Well, I don't think fiction is completely unable to give us words to live by. I think it often does. I mean, we're all affected by fiction. I think if you engage in a deep reading of fiction, and it impacts you in that way, then you have interfaced deeply with art, and that's a good thing. And that's something that art can offer to people is, in fact, it's maybe the only thing that art can offer people, is personal catharsis and clarity, right? Comfort. So, I absolutely think that's possible. I think posting clips and quoting art is not any good way to do that. So I sort of, I'm in support of the idea of deeply reading art and taking from it what you will. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Do you mean the sense that like art should be didactic and if art is not conveying a correct message, then it is inherently immoral? I mean, I would hope that I don't agree with that, and I'm very much against that. I don't think that art should be instructive in the sense that it conveys morality to us. I think that's you're talking, that's religious texts that do that, philosophical texts, but I think it can surprise us with the richness of its ideas if we spend time with it and look for the meaning and the truth in it. And I think there's a lot of value in that. I think that is the only value in art. Oh my God. People don't need advice, they need confidence. Read more nonfiction. I'm kind of feeling like I've been reading too much nonfiction, honestly. I want to go back to fiction. I've been working on a particularly dense Edith Wharton for a while. A little harder to read than usual. I don't know if I love it. Maybe I'll love it when I'm done. I'm reading House of Mirth, and I've had a few false starts with this book, and I've put it down a few times for like weeks or months at a time, and I'm almost done. I'm in the home stretch, but it's been a struggle to read this one. I was surprised. I thought a book called House of Mirth would be a real fun, breezy read, and it's not. It's a bit of a struggle session, to be honest. Lack of confidence. I mean, there's something to that. People want to know how to be, and that's a shame. That I think that suggests a lack of positive figures in your life when when you take advice too easily. It's like you're looking for a cult to join, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous. I would never ask anybody to follow my lead. I would not. I do that with my son, and that's the only person I do it with, really, and that is a huge responsibility. That you can go to jail for doing that wrong. Let's see. Maybe I'll let these hairs go that way. I need confidence. I need confidence in myself. Right? The Weekend. Right? Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 oh. The Weekend. I can't think of an artist whose first or big splash album I love more, whose music after the fact I could care less about. One album for me, and I'll go back to it for probably the rest of my life. But I do not give a shit what he's been up to since. Do I think that the increased clarity vis-a-vis my priorities and responsibilities has increased my cantankerousness over time? Well, I think that's aging, right? You have responsibilities that are much more high stakes. If you've been relatively healthy and responsible only for yourself for most of your life, and then you are either responsible for others' lives or struggling with your own body, then yeah, you. I think that's a healthy thing. I think there are plenty of parents and unwell people who are considering stupid shit on the internet even more important than they used to, as a way of hiding from their responsibilities. So I think the ideal progression is the acknowledgement that life is harder and there are more important things, and becoming more cantankerous, as opposed to, I don't know, LARPing on the internet until you just die, until you just fall over. Cute. I like how these drawings are coming out. They're cute. Yeah, I'm cantankerous. I think I'm a crab. I've kind of always been, but it's definitely increased. I'm cantankerous because I definitely hold my principles more strongly than I used to. And I'm increasingly frustrated with the lack of strong principles around me. I think I think in order to take oneself seriously, one needs to hold their principles strongly, and not be closed-minded to new ideas, but be able to defend yours. You know, and if you can't defend them, maybe you'll learn something, but you should be able to defend them. And that's I don't think that's stubbornness. I think that's the, like as you say, the clarity and confidence. Like there's I have somebody helping me uh, uh, edit Perfect Tides, and he's a wonderful editor, and a lot of the time what he does, and I resisted this for years. I was like, I don't need an editor. I don't need somebody changing my work, bringing their voice to what I do, and that was me being stubborn. But uh, what he often does is just ask me to talk about what it is I intend somewhere. Well, what is it we're trying to say here? And when I feel strongly about it, I will say, "Well, this is what I'm saying," and it's actually quite easy to articulate. And when I'm not feeling strongly, it's sort of this gentle nudge to find an idea that I do feel strongly about, strengthen the idea so that I have that confidence in it. And when I've just are these the same? Yeah. When I've just defended the shit out of an idea or reworked it to the point that I would, I feel very good. I feel very good about the work. Okay. How we doing here? Let's round out the head a bit more. I need confidence in myself. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 oh. There we go. All right. So that's up nod. Oh man, my arms are so sore. Killing me. Sorry, just gonna take a break for one moment. Oh, my neck, my back, my arms. I'm in pain all the time. Okay, let's do this. We got like 2 more poses here. All right, so we got an up head and we got a down head. So what do we got here? All right. Okay, so put that one there, and I can kind of pull from both of them if I need to. My neck and my back, yes. Oh, jeez, even my ears. These headphones are killing me too. What's not killing me? Is there anything that isn't killing me? Hello, you like my comics? Thank you. Thank you. I haven't made a comic in a while, but I've been putting together a little slideshow for Narroscope, which is like this narrative focused show that I'm speaking at in a few weeks, and yeah, it's making me think about comics a little bit. How they can be fun. Now they can be fun, but often aren't. Alright, so when she goes up, her little hair thingies go that way. So let's have them fly this way. And same thing here. Fly back. Wow, Gabby's getting around, giving everyone a round in the chat. How nice. Alright. I think I gotta get rid of the onion skins and just see for myself here. Alright. I gotta think of something other than The Weekend. I need confidence in myself. Damn it. There we go. Subs are on sale, so you gifted to 5 people. That's nice. Well, if you've just been gifted a sub, and you like hearing me talk, tune in Wednesday night for a Thingus to the Past. That's when my brother Joe and I, you know Joe, you know him. Trust me. You know this guy. Me and my brother Joe, we're both blindingly talented siblings. Unbelievable. The talent in this family. We're both, we both just sit around and play video games. We play old stuff mostly. I like to collect video game hardware from the past. So we play a lot of old games on the EverDrive, on the EverCart, whatever. And sometimes we play new games. But most of what we do, play games, shoot the shit, and circle around ideas. Sometimes ideas that I've started to form on my own, or in conversation with Joe off of the show, and we sit there and we think about those things and try to form a consensus together. And you know, the act of playing games seems to stimulate that quite a bit, especially when we talk about matters of art and you know, what it is to be an artist, and what sort of courage the moment as an artist demands. Things we think about a lot. I'm gonna bring these up. Yeah. Oh my god. I just need to stretch out or I'm going to die. So badly do my muscles hurt. I'm just doing ring dips. Ring dips. A real killer. Hard. Hard and painful. And today I did... Yesterday was push, and today I did pull. So yesterday is ring dips, and chest flies, and all kinds of shit that involves pushing. And today was chin ups and face pulls and rows, and for good measure, I did some ab rollouts too, which are like for the video gamers among us. You know that character from the Final Fantasy games, the Mag Roller? It's like a monster with wheels on his arms. It's that, and you're doing that exercise. You're doing that as exercise. You're being that guy. You're being the Mag Roller, the ab roller. Hurts like hell. Very effective body weight exercise. Have I ever noticed a difference in gym culture based on the city? Yeah. I mean, I work out at home now, but when I'm traveling, I go to gyms. And when I was in LA, now that was a cursed gym vibe. Oh my god. I've been to good gyms in LA, depending on where you go. But I went, yeah, like I went to a good old man gym in LA that a lot of my friends go to, and I'm not gonna blow it up. I'm not gonna say where it is, but it's an old gym. It's been around since like the 80s, right? A lot of old people, a lot of locals, a nice mix, right? What makes a bad gym culture is when you overwhelmingly have a certain type of person, and that person doesn't necessarily ruin the gym, but if they're the only ones there, then they ruin the gym. Anyway, last time I went to a gym in LA, I went to a very broy, trendy type gym, and it was just absolutely packed with influencers filming themselves. Everyone filming themselves. That vibe was rancid. And I'm sure that exists in every city, but I think LA probably has more of those people per capita than anywhere else. It was awful. It was awful. I saw some terrible workouts going on, too. I saw people doing absolutely fucking ridiculous workouts that no one should do. Alright, so now I just need to make these shapes pretty consistent. This one I think could use a little smoothing here. That was the worst. I think that was the worst gym experience I've had. It was disgusting. The gym was kind of gross too, because when you get inconsiderate people, you get people who don't clean up. So it felt dirty in there. And there was also like quite a merch game going on there. I felt like I felt like they would take me for every dollar they could. They'd slit my grandma's throat for $1. That's how it felt. All right. Okay, so now I just need that drawing, and then I think I'm gonna be done for the morning. Okay, so after she makes that face, she's like, Mm. She's like my dog. Ah. Oh no. Ah. Alright, so the scaling is weird on that rough drawing, so I kind of have to piece this one together a bit. But I still don't want to lose the energy. I think it's a funny drawing. Your newborn makes the same sounds as an elderly dog. When my boy was a baby, pre-verbal, he he would say le a lot, and he sounded like a little French child. He was like le. Like when he first had a few words, like one of his early words was try, because he just wanted so much to try everything, like to do it himself. He's a real self-starter. And, sometimes a lot of the time we could let him do it, but a lot of the time you just can't let a baby do something. And he would go like, "Lila, try, Lila, try, Lila, try." All right, these eyebrows need to be a bit more agitated. And I think I'm going to keep that mouth completely straight. Let's see. Alright, I think that's pretty close to what the rough looks like. Try. Try. It is so worth taking pictures, taking videos of your child's early vocalizations, because it is distressing how quickly you forget otherwise. Like they're you hear their voice so much that whatever they're currently sounding like becomes what they've always sounded like. But the fact is that they've been through many adorable stages, and you gotta try and hold on to it because it's so damn cute. A willful little child, just asserting themselves as early as possible. That's so sweet. All right, let's move her color around a bit. I guess her body wouldn't rotate that much. Just a bit. Try. Try. Let's have this hair keep pointing where it was. Just move over a bit. And there we go. Da da da. Dun, 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 ba-da-da-da, dun, 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 dun. I knew that game was about something real. I knew when they genocided the Espers that story was about genocide. A real thing. A real thing. They wrote about something real. I knew it. I knew it. I needed confirmation from the author, but I knew it. I told you guys video games are serious. I told you guys I haven't dedicated my life to a waste. To a stupid hobby. See, I'm learning about war by playing video games. It's educational. You thought I was wasting my time, Mom. Video games taught me that war is bad. Alright, anything else I should talk about before I finish the stream off? I'm almost done here. Almost done. I'll have to in between this on a different stream because I'm just I'm a little tired today. I'm achy. So I'm gonna take a break after this and get some lunch. But maybe I'll come back. Probably not today. But maybe I'll come back before the week's out and do a bit more on this. I really like it. I'm happy with it. Now these heads look a bit big. I could probably bring them in just a pixel or two. I fix. Doing the Italian accent with a somewhat timid flattening at the end. I fix. It's funny. I'm doing a funny Italian voice. Okay. I can't actually tell if I'm fixing or not, or if I'm just making it worse. I'm just gonna put it back to exactly where it was. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Well, this was fun. Fun to stream to more than one platform for a change. Maybe I'll start doing this more often. I've got the restream. I just I went for it today because I was already streaming on Steam for the Summer Games Fest, so I figured I may as well keep it going. But yeah, maybe I'll do it more often. All right. Have a nice